Alright, up for sale is my Austin Healy Sprite. It's a 1969. Um, it's a bit of a unique car. This is my second Sprite, and I'm going to go through it so that anyone who's interested can kind of get a look at what conditions it's in and what it has and what it doesn't have. Um, it's got the 1275cc naturally aspirated engine with a Weber carb on it, for those of you who know Sprites or MG midgets. It's been painted a couple of years ago by the previous owner. The paint's in good nick. It has a couple of chips here and there, but it's not a concours car by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a great toy, and it doesn't get driven enough, and actually needs some room in my garage. So that's why it's going up for sale. So this is my second Sprite. My previous one was a 63, and it had a 1098cc engine, and the 1275 is a hell of a lot much more fun to drive for sure. So let's take a look around it. It has these, I think these are originally Mini Cooper rims on the car. I have opted to take the windshield off and put these cool looking Brooklyn screens on. I did that on my last Sprite. I just love the look and the whole open air experience. I do have the original windshield, so that's not a problem. And this is a car that with roll-up windows, the windows were taken off. I have all of the components, so you'll get that. The interior is in very good shape. It has new carpets and new seat covers. I also added this little bit of vintage time period kind of concourse slash rally I should say, not concourse, memorabilia there. 3 stopwatches. Stopwatches work. The mid console is not original. That was put on there by the previous owner. It has push start, so you turn the key and then you press push. All the switches work. Original steering wheel, and I've got the different rear view mirror because I don't have anywhere to mount a rear view mirror. You see there on the seat, I haven't mounted a side mirror yet, and I'm going to leave that for the owner depending on what style they want. Seat belts are over the shoulder, so they're not stock, but they're 3-point, I guess. Let's continue on here with the paint. It's a pretty good nick. It has a rear chrome bumper. Registration has been paid, I just haven't put the sticker on it. It has this very cool exhaust that makes the car sound really fun. Really fun. And so body wise, it's in very good nick. What I will say is that there are a couple of chips. So here, I guess when they installed the bonnet, they lifted up the bonnet and they damaged the paint. The bonnet has since been, the alignment has been done again, so that doesn't happen. But that's one of the imperfections. It has these hella yellow fog lights. They're not hooked up. I have the front bumper, which I don't run on these cars because I just think the lines look better like this. Instead I have the grille badge bar up front. And I have a lot of components. I have the original carbs for it. I have a tonneau top. I have the folding convertible top as well, and just boxes and boxes of books, literature that came with the car. Some I've added myself. So that's where we are. We have a little 2 scratches there. Maybe you could polish those off. I haven't tried. And so it's up for sale. It's located in San Bruno, California, which is Northern California. I live about a mile from San Francisco Airport. So how does it drive? It drives great. The front suspension is probably a little tired. I would probably do those again. It's not wobbly or unsafe or anything. I've taken it on highway speeds. I've driven this car an hour south and an hour north without any issues. Starts right up, and that's the car. I'm going to show you the under the hood, or under the bonnet, I should say, in a second. Okay, so this is under the hood. The interior engine compartment is in a grey kind of primer colour. It looks. The solenoids here look brand new when I got them. Somebody painted the heater box red. I don't know why, but it is what it is. It's a negatively earthed car. The Smith's blower for the heater works, although the heater blows, but the directional switches are not. The flaps are not installed, but I have them, which is they just install inside. Here's the air filter to single Weber. The 1275 engine with the alloy head cover. I put those spark plug cables on. Doesn't overheat. It leaks probably one drop of oil, not enough to make me put anything underneath the driveway. So original radiator, works fine. Now this car does come with a salvage title, and I think it had a ding from the front, but the front bit the top, not the bottom, because I can't see any damage on the bottom. They probably should have replaced this panel, because I've had to do this before on another car, and it's a lot easier. It's just a couple of bolts, and they didn't. So you could see evidence of, you know, a little bit of crinkling going on there. But like I said, this is not a concours car, so it's the body's straight, so you know, straight for a car of this age, but it drives great. Really sad to see it go. I'm probably going to end up regretting it, like my last Sprite, but I do need room in the garage. Even though it's tiny, I still need the room. We'll start her up, and it hasn't been started in 3 days. So I've got the choke out, ignition on, you can hear the fuel pump go on, and starts right up. And you can hear that exhaust. I just love these cars. And in terms of the gauges, the RPMs work, but I wouldn't call them accurate. Speedometer works, and that, again, I wouldn't call it super accurate, but it tells you where you're going, and you know where you're going fast. The fuel gauge does work, and is accurate from what I can tell. And the oil pressure and the water temperature do work. So that's about it. It's a very simple car. It's a lot of fun to drive. Reminds me a lot of, well, the Miata was based on this car. Some minor upgrades, window seal with the Sprite logo, just nicks and knacks. I've had the car for just under 2 years. So what I've done to it are mostly cosmetic things, but I did do a tune-up, fuel oil change, changed all the fluids basically. I did a tune-up. I can back off the. There we go. You can hear it there. See, it doesn't smoke or anything. I mean, obviously when you start it up, the valve guides, you get a little bit of a puff when you start it up, but it's from 1969. It does come with a car cover and 4 extra steel ringed wheels with tires, and the tires look in good condition, and they're yellow for some reason. So I have boxes and boxes of parts, so many parts that you won't be able to fit in the Sprite. You'll probably end up having to bring a car or a truck to put everything in. But idle's great, as you can see, and really hope it goes to a good home. I've sold a couple of cars on eBay. I usually have small projects that I restore a little bit and sell, or 4x4s or bikes. So you can check out the rest of my channel. I have done Volkswagen buses, FJ40s, Suzuki Samurais. I've done a bunch of cars, and they always find a good home. So hoping that this finds a good home too. Here's a little yellow fan spinning. So that's that. Happy bidding. I've got a buy it now price. Again, I'm very conveniently located near San Francisco Airport, so I can arrange for you to come pick up the car, or have the car be picked up